Bowen Yang is not just a comedian, not just an actor, but a cultural moment, a voice that arrived quietly and then reshaped modern American comedy with intelligence, vulnerability, and fearless honesty. Born on November 6, 1990, in Brisbane, Australia, to Chinese immigrant parents, Bowen grew up moving between cultures, countries, and identities. First Australia, then Canada, and eventually the United States. A childhood defined by displacement, observation, and learning how to survive by watching closely and listening carefully. From an early age, he understood what it meant to feel different, to feel unseen, and that feeling would later become the emotional engine of his comedy. He pursued higher education at New York University, where his love for writing, performance, satire, and pop culture evolved into a clear calling. New York gave him freedom, but also struggle, rejection, and long nights questioning whether his voice would ever matter in an industry that rarely made space for people who looked like him or sounded like him. His professional breakthrough came when he joined Saturday Night Live as a writer, quietly making history as the show's first Chinese-American writer, working behind the scenes, shaping jokes, sharpening political satire, learning the rhythm of live television until his talent could no longer stay hidden. In 2019, he stepped in front of the camera as a cast member, again making history, becoming one of the first Asian American performers on SNL, and instantly changing what audiences expected from sketch comedy. Bowen did not rely on stereotypes. Instead, he dismantled them. His performances were sharp yet human, absurd yet grounded, funny yet deeply aware of pain, identity, and power. He portrayed politicians, pop stars, influencers, and fictional characters with a unique blend of chaos and clarity, often revealing uncomfortable truths beneath laughter. Beyond SNL, he co-hosted the influential podcast Las Culturistas, where pop culture became a lens to discuss society, queerness, fear, joy, and survival. The podcast turned him into a generational voice for millennials and Gen Z, especially within the LGBTQ+ community. Bowen Yang has always been open about being gay, never using it as a shield but as a truth. His visibility gave courage to countless young people who saw themselves reflected on a mainstream stage for the first time. His work expanded into films, voice acting, and live performances. Yet, no matter how large his platform grew, his comedy remained personal, observational, and emotionally precise. Then came The Farewell, the night that turned laughter into tears. During his final appearance on Saturday Night Live, Bowen stood on that legendary stage knowing a chapter of his life was ending. His voice softened, his eyes filled. And in that moment, he spoke not as a comedian, but as a human being, saying words that resonated far beyond the studio. He thanked the writers, the crew, the cast, and the audience, acknowledging the fear he once carried, the gratitude he now felt, and the love that changed him. He said goodbye not with a punchline, but with honesty, with emotion, with a trembling smile that carried years of growth, struggle, and triumph. His farewell was not about leaving a job. It was about honoring a journey, about saying thank you to a space that allowed him to become himself. As the applause rose and the lights dimmed, Bowen Yang stood there overwhelmed, eyes wet, heart open, proving that comedy does not end where emotion begins, it is born there. And as he walked away from that stage, he left behind more than sketches and laughs. He left a legacy of representation, courage, and truth. Bowen Yang's story is still unfolding, but his impact is already permanent. A reminder that authenticity can be revolutionary, that laughter can heal, and that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is be seen exactly as you are.